It started the way so many viral controversies do. Not with evidence, not with court documents, not with an official statement. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates. But with a whisper, a post here, a headline there, a YouTube thumbnail screaming in all caps. Suddenly, social media was flooded with shocking claims involving Meghan Markle, an alleged former nanny, child welfare authorities, and accusations so extreme they felt almost surreal. Some posts went further, reviving old arguments from critics, pointing to royal biographer Tom Bower and declaring, with absolute certainty, that this time, the truth had finally come out. And just like that, the internet did what it does best. It ran. But before we run with it too, let's pause for a moment. Because when stories become this explosive this fast, the most important question isn't, is this true? It's why are so many people ready to believe it? And what does that say about how modern celebrity narratives are built, spread, and weaponized? Stick with me, because this story isn't really about one rumor. It's about how rumors become reality online, and why Meghan Markle remains one of the internet's favorite targets. And by the end, you might see these viral claims very differently. How one headline turns into truth overnight. Here's something most people don't realize. You don't need proof to start a viral story anymore. You need a recognizable name, an emotional trigger, a narrative people already want to believe. That's it. Once those three ingredients are present, the internet fills in the rest. In this case, the recognizable name is obvious. Meghan Markle has been one of the most polarizing public figures of the last decade. Supporters see a woman targeted for breaking royal tradition. Critics see someone who betrayed an institution. That polarization is crucial, because polarized audiences don't fact-check. They confirm-check. They don't ask, is this accurate? They ask, does this fit what I already believe? So when a headline claims there's a nanny, a CPS call, secret abuse, or hidden truths finally exposed, it doesn't land on neutral ground. It lands on emotional terrain that's already been prepared. And once it lands, the story doesn't need evidence. It needs momentum. Which brings us to a key point. Why anonymous insiders and former staff are the internet's favorite characters. If you followed celebrity scandals for any length of time, you'll notice a pattern. When evidence is thin, insiders suddenly appear. A former assistant, a bodyguard, a nanny, a friend of a friend. These figures are powerful because they sound close enough to be credible, but distant enough to be unaccountable. No face, no record, no way to verify. Just proximity. And proximity feels like proof. In Meghan Markle's case, staff narratives have been circulating for years. Some are documented. Some are disputed. Some are openly speculative. But once the idea is established that people close to her have stories, it becomes easy to invent new ones or recycle old rumors under new names. The alleged nanny story fits this pattern perfectly. It feels intimate. It feels emotional. It feels like the kind of secret that was always there. But here's the critical question. If something as serious as child welfare intervention had occurred, why would the first place we hear about it be social media? Why not court records? Why not official reporting? Why not legal documentation? That gap doesn't stop rumors. It fuels them. Because gaps are where imagination thrives. And imagination spreads faster than facts. The Tom Bower effect. When criticism becomes a shortcut to proof. You'll notice that many viral claims invoke one name repeatedly, Tom Bower. Why? Because referencing a known critic gives rumors borrowed legitimacy. It's a rhetorical shortcut. Instead of saying, this is alleged, the narrative becomes, people were warned about her years ago. But here's where nuance matters. Tom Bower is a biographer and commentator. His work is critical, controversial, and debated. Some readers consider it revealing. Others consider it biased. But even critics would acknowledge one thing. Opinion is not evidence. Analysis is not proof. And books, even critical ones, are not court rulings. Yet online, these distinctions collapse. A critical passage becomes a prediction. A speculation becomes a confirmation. A harsh interpretation becomes, he was right all along. That transformation is not accidental. It's how narratives harden. And once hardened, they become resistant to correction. Why motherhood is always the chosen battlefield. Here's an uncomfortable truth. When society wants to destroy a woman's public image, it often starts with motherhood. Not her work, not her ideas, not her competence, her children. Why? Because accusations involving children trigger instant moral outrage. They bypass logic and go straight to emotion. And for public figures, motherhood becomes symbolic. People don't just judge parenting choices. They project values, morality, and intent onto them. Meghan Markle isn't the first woman to face this. Princess Diana was accused of emotional instability as a mother. Sarah Ferguson was portrayed as irresponsible. Even modern political figures face bad mother narratives when critics want maximum damage. The formula is depressingly effective. And once that frame is introduced, everything gets filtered through it. A nanny becomes suspicious. Privacy becomes secrecy. Boundaries become neglect. Normal choices are reinterpreted as evidence, which leads to the most extreme claims of all. When the internet decides children are not really children. One of the most disturbing aspects of viral Meghan Markle narratives is the repeated questioning of her children's legitimacy. This isn't just gossip. It's dehumanization. When people claim children aren't real, aren't hers, or are props, they strip those children of identity and protection. This kind of rhetoric has nothing to do with concern for child welfare. It has everything to do with punishment. It's a way of saying, you don't deserve a family. And historically, that kind of language has been used against women who challenge institutions, norms, or power structures. It's not new. It's just louder now. And social media rewards loudness. Why CPS stories spread so easily, even without evidence. Mentioning Child Protective Services is like throwing gasoline on a fire. It immediately raises stakes. It implies authority. It implies investigation. It implies hidden danger. But here's the reality. CPS does not operate in secrecy the way the internet imagines. Cases generate records. Processes leave trails. Legal actions surface eventually. The absence of such documentation doesn't stop rumors, because CPS stories aren't about accuracy. They're about fear. Fear spreads faster than facts. And once fear is activated, logic struggles to keep up. That's why these claims go viral even when unsupported. They're emotionally irresistible. The algorithms roll. Why you're seeing this everywhere? Ever notice how once you click one video, suddenly there are 10 more? That's not coincidence. Algorithms don't care about truth. They care about engagement. And outrage is engaging. When users react, comment, argue, share, the system amplifies the content. So a rumor that sparks debate gets rewarded. A calm correction gets buried. This creates a feedback loop. Extreme claim, emotional reaction, increased visibility, perceived legitimacy. By the time fact-checkers arrive, the narrative has already felt true to millions. And feelings are sticky. The aha moment. This isn't about Meghan Markle alone. Here's where things click. This story isn't really about whether a specific rumor is true. It's about how easily any public figure, especially women, can be subjected to character assassination through repetition. Today it's Meghan Markle. Tomorrow it's someone else. The pattern is reusable, which means the real question becomes, do we want to live in a media culture where accusation equals guilt, or one where evidence still matters? Because once we normalize belief without proof, no one is safe from the narrative machine. How to protect yourself from viral falsehoods, actionable tips. Let's get practical for a moment. Here's how you can avoid being pulled into viral misinformation cycles. Ask where the claim originated. Is it a primary source or a reaction channel reacting to another reaction? Look for documentation, not declarations. Court records, official statements, reputable reporting matter. Notice emotional manipulation. If a headline makes you angry instantly, pause. That's often intentional. Be cautious with everyone is saying language. Consensus without sourcing is not consensus. Remember that children deserve privacy. Regardless of public opinion about parents, children are not fair game. These steps don't require you to defend anyone. They require you to think. And thinking is revolutionary online. So, what's the truth? Here's the honest answer. There is no verified public evidence supporting the most extreme claims circulating online about Meghan Markle, alleged nannies, CPS involvement, or the legitimacy of her children. What does exist is a long-running, polarized media environment, a history of hostile narratives, an algorithm that rewards outrage, and an audience primed to believe the worst. That combination is powerful. But power doesn't equal truth. Final thought, the story beneath the story. The most revealing thing about these viral claims isn't what they say about Meghan Markle. It's what they say about us. About how quickly we judge, how easily we amplify, how rarely we pause. So here's the question I'll leave you with. The next time a headline makes you gasp, will you share it immediately? Or will you stop and ask why it exists in the first place?